Hey babes, so I'm gonna confess something to you. I really like diner aesthetics. I know, right? Usually I gravitate towards 60s garage and 70s sunshine. You wouldn't think I'd be into something as conformist and gauche as mid-century eateries, but I've always had a soft spot for them. Maybe because it reminds me of an exciting and optimistic decade of yesteryear, the 1980s. Recently I discovered a forgotten 80s toy line that encapsulates this brand of 50s nostalgia. Dixie's Diner, which also had a companion TV special. Ooh, good times are ahead. So get ready, material girls, because we're about to enter the cultural matryoshka doll that is the Nostalgia Loop.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot, a big bottle and it's got bounce, 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 bounce. Go get Pepsi for the Pepsi bounce.
To understand the nuances and extensive lore of this crappy half-baked cartoon, we need to travel back in time 2 centuries. Hey, this ain't a kiddie pool, this is a deep dive. In the late 1800s, mobile lunch wagons became a hit among working people. Think of them as horse-drawn food trucks without the line of influencers taking selfies. The food was simple and cheap, but very popular. I mean, if your menu looks like this, you know that means it's fire. Eventually, wagons fell out of favor and permanent buildings started popping up. To meet the demand for new eateries, companies started selling prefabricated diners. Think something like mobile homes. And like mobile homes, they had to fit on the rail cars that delivered them. Hence, the very compact floor plan. Just swing your hands around and hit everybody in the restaurant at once. I don't recommend that, I'm just saying you could. After the Big Ugly War, diners became a popular option for entrepreneurs looking to start their first business. The efficient space meant that you didn't have to hire a large staff, just a couple servers, a cook, maybe a rat chef. But with so many different types of eateries dotting the roadside, a good businessman knows you need your diner to stand out. Neon signs, chrome furnishings, and kooky checkered floors achieve this goal. One particular cafe in Los Angeles went the extra mile by incorporating whimsical, wacky architecture into their decor. Designed by Charles Lautner in 1949, Gougie's became the namesake of a new trend in mid-century design. It's a very bold and fun style, and Americans ate it up. The style and the food. For the most part, having come out of World War II, Americans were optimistic of the future, and the space age felt like just a shot away. You can see this in the cutting-edge materials found inside diners: aluminum siding, vinyl seating, and asbestos. And for the first time, teenagers were seen as a proper demographic and customer base. Diners became a popular meeting spot for young people. Damn, I want to give these kids an elf bar, see how they react. It's like giving a Dorito to a Victorian child. Thus, we got a lot of youth-oriented furnishings like jukeboxes and pinball machines and asbestos. But as time moved on, teenagers grew up and diners changed with the times. The 50s led to the 60s, and the 60s begot the 70s, and then the 20-year nostalgia loop sank its teeth into the disco generation. So there's this theory that every decade, the trends of 20 years ago come back in style. In the 90s, the groovalicious 70s were hot. In the 2000s, retro 80s was the shit. In the 2010s, 90s-inspired grungecore and vaporwave became trending topics, briefly at least. Even now in the 2020s, we're seeing the resurrection of retro internet fads and Club Penguin-era social networking. I predict that 2045 will see a return of Brat Summer. Oh my god. Club Classics is gonna be a club classic. An obvious reason is that the young kids in those eras grew up and are now 20 or 30 trying to replicate what was cool back when they were forming memories, but didn't have full agency over their lives. Also, disenfranchised youth tend to latch on to aspects of older eras, creating a notion that things were better back then. I was born in the wrong decade, but trust me, that's a fallacy. Every decade is the wrong decade. The 1970s saw a revival of 50s fads. Rockabilly, hot rods, and media like Grease, American Graffiti, and Happy Days. Of course, the nostalgia loop isn't such a strict timeline. Sometimes it's 20 years, sometimes it's 30. Such is the case here, where the 50s stayed popular in the 80s. Back to the Future was probably the biggest contributor. The fashion, the rock and roll, and especially those rad diners very much appealed to young 80s hipsters. And 50s throwback diners started to become a thing in this decade. What you'll notice though is that these restaurants don't resemble the historical diners of the 1950s, but are rather a mishmash of pop culture touchstones that inundate you with nostalgia. I'm pretty sure those Eisenhower-era establishments didn't have cardboard cutouts of Elvis and Marilyn Monroe on the walls. Or these fucking Blues Brothers statues that always appear in these places, like, where do these come from? But I think the reason that this flavor of 50s nostalgia became so popular is because of maximalism. This generation of Americans had seen the end of another long war, and Reaganomics totally predicted a prosperous future. Postmodern vanity and over-the-top glamour was plastered on every magazine cover and on TV. Cocaine-fueled extravagance did what Gucci architecture did 30 years prior. Promised endless wealth, endless pleasure, and endless breadsticks. So of course, when remembering the world of yesteryear, people embraced the maximalist qualities of material excess. Chrome and neon, pink and teal vomit all over the place, just so much of it. And that pretty much explains why this toy line looks the way it does. Not like the actual 50s, but a drug-induced fever dream. Let's take a look.
We go to Dixie after school, make a date, totally cool.
This is not a thoroughly documented toy line, but I tried my best. Go easy on me. Dixie's Diner appeared on store shelves in 1988 when the retro trend was starting to fizzle out. Produced by Tyco, which I always associate with
Tyco RC Maximum Heat,
as well as Superblocks, a shameless Lego knockoff. Ew, look at these horrible little men. As for advertising, all I could scrounge up was this TV spot.
Looking for fun? Let's go to Dixie's Diner. We go to Dixie's.
Oh, these children cosplay their playdates. Those are premium friends. And yeah, you can see the retro maximalism on full display. But not gonna lie, it does get me hyped for toys I'm never gonna own.
Make a date, totally cool.
I love this place.
I love this place.
Foaming at the mouth, love this place.
Dixie's Diner Playsets, friends and accessories sold separately.
Premium cosplay friends not included. The piece de resistance of Dixie's Diner is the diner itself. A rather large playset that comes with the lunch counter, a table setting, Dixie herself, and a whole lot of liminal space. The idea being that you fill up the diner by collecting all the other sets. Golly gee, I can't wait to spend all my money. The other sets include things like a jukebox, a pool table, and a vinyl booth, each of which includes a 4-inch doll. Technically, I think some of these dolls are closer to 3 inches, but 4 inches is a standard size, so I'll just continue referring to them that way. And some of the dolls came individually packaged. Frankie and Darla don't need no jukebox, they are the prize. Other products include props and refrigerators and 2 cars. Oh look, more pink and teal vomit. And, if you were good for Christmas, Santa might bring you the Super Deluxe Furnished Playset, which includes the diner, props, and 5 dolls, including Dixie, who doesn't get a cute little box, just this ominous white tomb. The dolls are comparable to other 4-inch dolls of the time, like Strawberry Shortcake or Rose Petal Place, which all had a smushy, cutesy toddler anatomy to them. Like they could fit in with Hummel figurines or Precious Moments or some hideous shit like that. Thank Goddess we live in the era of Labubu. I want my materialism to be creepy cute. I was gonna buy some of these toys so I could review them properly, but they are very expensive and I kinda don't like them. No hate if you do, I'm just not into big-headed fetal flesh golems. Though the toddler aesthetic does make them look like Cupid dolls, which is era appropriate for the 50s, so points on that. Dolls aside, I do love the diner, which is rife with detail. The Coca-Cola sign, the billboard, these teeny little ceramic mugs. Ah, it's so cute, my vomit is gonna be teal. The miniature elements are fantastic, really giving mini brands. I think I should take an analytical examination of each character. Which means it's time for Tier Ranker! And welcome to Tier Maker, the most wonderful website on the web. Yeah, I hope you didn't hear that sarcasm in that. So I have all the characters here lined up. They're mugshots here from the cartoon. I was gonna use the dolls, but like the dolls are like teeny tiny and hard to see. So on each doll box, they actually include what they call superlatives. They get like voted most likely to this, that, the other, and then they have their career goals and their theme song. So I'll be reading those off here, have them written down. So Barbara Ann is a glutton. She eats a lot. She likes anchovies and pickles and chili and stuff. She's kind of a freak. I kind of like her a bit. She was voted Best School Spirit. Her goals are to be an actress. Yep, that's definitely a theater kid right there. And her theme song is Yakety Yak. So her life is just a tragedy of a comedy of errors or something. I'm gonna put her in Nito. I like her. And she comes with the vinyl booths. So like she definitely is like set to be with friends, you know? It's definitely somebody you want to hang out with. Next is the slimy snake of the group. She is after your man. She is awful and evil, and therefore she is my favorite. Because I like the villains, sorry. It's just who I am. This is me if you even care. This is Darla, voted the most beautiful. And her career goal is to marry someone richer than Daddy. So, definitely the 80s villain here. Oh my god. They actually put that on the box. That's so funny. Imagine being a kid. Oh, look at this pretty doll. I want to marry someone richer than Daddy. Mommy, what's that mean? Oh, and her theme song is You Don't Own Me, which is an awesome song. So she's got the best taste in music. But I think that's a 60s song, so I guess she sees into the future. She has powers we don't know about. Whatever. And then we got Darren. I don't really have strong opinions on this one. He's just imagine any 80s cartoon with like a white blonde main character. Well, he'd be Ken. That's what he is. He's Knuff. He's voted most huggable. Ugh. I don't know why I don't like that. It just gives me bad vibes. His goals are to be the world's best athlete. It doesn't even say which sport. He's just any of them. It's great. Trampoline. Yeah, trampoline, curling. Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. He's just going on blacklists. I mean, also his song is Rock Around the Clock. That is like the most, hey, name a 50s song. Rock Around the Clock. You know, we don't put any thought into it. It's just there. Yeah, so he gets on Joseph McCarthy's blacklist. Next we have Dixie. She doesn't come with a box, so I don't know anything about her except that her parents died and now she has a diner that she manages. She roller skates. She's kind to the kids. But let's be honest, if she didn't have the diner, we wouldn't be hanging out with her. So yeah, sorry, square. Like a Jolly Rancher. Square. Next we got Dottie, who looks very different from how she does in the cartoon. I kind of like this look, you know, I guess they made her more like nerdy, because the doll seems like she's nerdy. She was voted most likely to succeed, which is definitely like the bookish type. Her goals are find the perfect boyfriend. Oh, she's gay, I get it. Yeah. She's definitely the type of like, oh, I can't find the right guy. There's just no good guys. I can't find any guys I like. Oh, maybe I'll just hang out with my girls. Oh, you like girls? You into that? So yeah. I'm one with that. Glasses lesbian. Oh, and her theme song is Why Do Fools Fall in Love? So yeah, she goes up here with her girlfriend here. Next is Eddie. This is definitely the goofball pothead guy. He was voted best tan. That's the best I can say about him. And his goals are surf, surf, surf. Surfing was a thing in the 50s, but like, it's funny that like, yeah, he would totally be the cowabunga, don't have a cow man kind of guy. And if this were the 80s, actually. You know what? He had some spice to the group. I'll put him in Nito. Oh, he gets to be there with his girlfriend. I think they're dating. Although there's one point where she says like, do it for your girlfriend. And he's like, oh, where is she? She's like, Bark. Oh, and his theme song is Wipeout, of course. Next we got Frankie, the cool guy. Cool greaser guy, you know? He's gonna be in the Outsiders or something. Stay gold, pony boy. He was voted best kisser. Oh, okay. So girls, you got your straight girls anyways. You got your options here. You either go for the most huggable or the best kisser, or you could stare at Eddie's tan while he forgets your name. But the thing is, this guy, like, I don't know, it looks like he tries too hard, and his doll looks absolutely like when you dress a baby up like an adult. Like, it really does look like that, and I do not like it. His goals are to be a rock and roll star, but we never see him with like a guitar or talking about music or anything. Seems like he's gonna go back and forth between being a rock star and an actor or some bullshit like that. And his theme is leader of the pack, so yeah, I think he's gonna die young too. That's what that song's about. He's going in square. I think he's trying too hard. I'm not into that. I'm not into people who try too hard to be cool. Next we got Mitch. This is an interesting one because he was kind of a major doll in the line, but in the cartoon, is just kind of there. He never says anything, and he disappears halfway through. Like, it's just weird. But his box says that he was voted the class clown, and his goals are to be the king of comedy. So he wants to be Bernie Mac. All right, well, good luck on that. And his theme is the Great Pretender. Oh, that's actually kind of sad. Like a crying clown, like a velvet painting. You know what? That gives him depth. Okay, even though he's nothing in the cartoon, I kind of like the doll itself. It comes with a pool table. That's kind of cool. So I'm gonna put him in Nito. You know, I think he has potential. And last we have Peggy Sue, who is like the de facto main character here. It says she was voted best personality. It's like something you say to someone when you don't know what else to say about them. It's like, oh, she's got a great personality. Her goals are to be an actress, model, singer. Oh, so she's one up in Barbara Ann. Oh, she wants to be a Spice Girl, that's it. And her theme song is Party Doll, which I had to look up, and it is such a horny on main song, like, I swear to God. And so just that alone makes me think that, like, she's got a lot more going on than we think. Also, I think the doll, in the doll line, she works at the diner, I think, is what is going on, because she comes with the diner, she's got, like, the uniform on or something. And in the cartoon, she's a customer, but she still dresses like she works there, so it's kind of confusing. You know what, I'm gonna put her in top 40. So there we go, you can see the tier is very top-heavy, which is a good sign. Even the bad characters aren't really that bad, I just wasn't impressed, and, you know, I have my preferences. So, yeah, that's it, and let's go back to the footage that was totally not shot a week ago. But say you were a child in an 80s Toys R Us and you came across Dixie's Diner. You'd have no idea who these people are or why they're dressed like that. If only there was a 23-minute cartoon that could introduce you to this lively cast. Well, you got one, and it was straight to video. In case there's any doubt that this is absolutely an 80s cartoon, yep, that's some retro maximalism right there. This opening theme song acts as a commercial in its own right. I am so hyped to get on eBay and spend $100 on a teeny refrigerator. Our first introduction to the cast is through the villain, who is obviously the real main character.
This time, Dottie, I'm going to sink my claws so far into Darren the Dreamboat that he'll never get away.
Right off the bat, Darla is planning on stealing her man. And Dottie here is totally her glasses lesbian sidekick. Everybody needs one.
This is going to be one.
Oh, the animation is going to be top quality, I see. Meanwhile...
Dixie, you know, I don't know what I'd do if your parents hadn't left you this diner. You said it. Hey, Dixie, what's wrong?
Really swell about your parents dying, now I can eat burgers. Hey, what are you crying about?
Just a cold.
This being a low-sodium teen drama, of course we got a very low-stakes conflict. Peggy Sue is giving Darren the cold shoulder because he said...
What did he say to you?
Well, we're not even blessed with that information. So Darren, who is this hunk that all the girls are vying for?
Oh yeah? You want cool? I'll show you cool.
Oof, I say, oof. Looks like a field of dead wheat made a wish to be human.
Here goes nothing.
It's always pure chaos at Dixie's Diner. Today's special is traumatic encephalopathy.
Wow, what a shot! Hey,
I think that girl is dying. You might want to check on her.
Are you okay?
Now that I'm in your arms, I am.
Golly, you know I'm going steady with Peggy Sue.
Ooh, let me go, you creep!
Did you hear that sound? I think she broke her coccyx. Here's a character that we didn't get in the toy line. Harry, the disembodied hands. I'm guessing if this was a full series, he'd be the older, wiser figure.
what's the matter, Dixie?
We're going to lose the diner.
Lose the diner?
Dixie, what do you mean? Who's going to take it away from us?
Yeah, who?
Me, that's who.
Yeah, it's one of these stories. Mean old rich man takes away the only cool place in town to build a soulless empire. In this case, a hasty, tasty burger? I'm guessing it's an In-N-Out. Ah yes, fast food, the sworn enemy of scenesters everywhere. Who's gonna look at me and appreciate me if I'm stuck in a drive-thru line? Nobody. So, naturally all the cool kids, and Darren, band together to topple the evil capitalists. Or at least pay back the loan or whatever. They never specify what kind of lien this guy has over Dixie's.
Blah, blah, blah.
Just that he's rich and bad. And he was smoking. Ew! Immediately, cool guy Frankie has the right idea. Peggy Sue and Darren could win the dance contest. But Peggy Sue ain't getting married to this chump anytime soon, so the rest of the cartoon is just the gang trying to make money in increasingly stupider ways. Like getting the high score on the pinball machine. Yes, we put our faith in Blast Hard Cheese. Oh look, Eddie has become one with the machine, transcending space and time. Until...
Eddie!
Huh?
But he gets a high score anyways, and the prize.
10 free games?
What'd you expect, an arcade game that's fair? Also, if there was actual money in there, you could have just gone at it with a sledgehammer. Next. Oh god, this. Well, Peggy Sue has the brilliant idea to host an eating contest, which she figures her gluttonous friend Barbara Ann is sure to win, but... My god, the 80s were problematic.
Here comes your competition.
There she blows!
That is so rude. Okay, so first of all, that's Louis Anderson's mom. Second, this whole sequence is so not cool, just gross and fat phobic. Peggy Sue assures Barbara Ann that she's that she's a fat hog in a skinny girl's body. That's actually what she says. And then this nightmare of a thing happens. Is this Jaws? Am I looking at Jaws? God damn, I hate this scene. Hope the next ploy goes better. Oh, how about a derby? Let's see how they fuck this up.
You're always bragging about how fast your precious car is. Now's your chance to prove it. Wouldn't it just be
We
easy
stand a
to enter the
dissociative
dance
queen.
contest?
Oh, look, it's Mitch. He exists. Anyways,
Look at those old jalopies.
what kind of derby is this anyways? A demolition derby? Oh, Peggy Sue, you're always getting us into deadly peril. Fortunately, her crazy taxi skills get them out of danger, and they ditch the fuzz and the paint spray.
There, that ought to fix him.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go, I insist.
Mom, I'm gay. Is it because I let you go to that body shop that turns you gay? With Peggy Sue still being cold as ice towhead, Darla the Snake Sorry, I'm losing my shit here. Darla the Snake strikes and tells Darren that they'll win the contest, the dance contest. They'll win the fucking dance contest together, god damn it. And yep, they got all the chemistry of ammonia and bleach.
George?
And hold on. Okay, what I don't understand is that the county champions are pointed out,
Our #1 couple.
and it's fucking Mitch. Wasn't he on their side? Did he go rogue? Was he like, yeah, fuck the diner, I can win this thing? We never get an explanation to his sudden heel turn. That or it's a production error, but I refuse to accept such logic. The animation has been flawless. Look, Frankie has the power to start the jukebox without making contact. Totally a feature, not a flaw. Finally, Peggy Sue swallows her pride and dances with Darren, and NGL, this scene is kinda cute. I mean, the bobblehead proportions make it kind of a little weird, but I'm gonna go with it. I mean, it's meant for the commercial mostly, right? And Darla and Frankie make eyes with each other, so I can't wait to see that romance flesh out. 36 years later, I'm still waiting. And they tell Roy Kroc to sit on it. And then he dies and goes to hell and the diner is saved. Time for some vaporwave smooching. The end.
Big fat hog.
The production of this wasn't anything notable. You got your usual suspects of 80s voice actors and a whole foreign country of animators. So that was the cartoon, and it sucks and it was bad, but I kinda love it. Aside from the eating contest, Jesus Christ. Otherwise, it's a nice mesh of 1950s and 1980s that never gets stale and does a fine job of persuading you, a child, to spend all your parents' money. I assume this was meant to be the pilot of an ongoing series, but the toy line was discontinued. I never found any sales numbers, but it's safe to assume it didn't do well. Or else we'd have like some 2019 CGI Dixie's Diner revival rotting away on Netflix. But there were 2 more dolls released later in the diner's lifespan. Let's take a look.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
It's pretty harsh.
Well, so's your coffee.
Ah, here they are, Patty and Bobby. Oh. Yeah, in case it didn't occur to you yet, this was a very, very white Christmas. And sure, it's supposed to be like the 1950s, but come on, it's a fucking 80s toy. We're not going for historical accuracy. I am curious though, if the cartoon had become a series, would Bobby and Patty be introduced? Would the diner exist in an alternate timeline where segregation never happened? Or would there be some kind of lunch counter sit-in storyline, a civil rights protest in an 80s cartoon? And all the characters would have to learn that we have to look past our differences and not judge someone by how they look, but considering how they handled the eating contest, I don't put my faith in it. But the late edition of Patty and Bobby do highlight the inherent racism of not the 50s, but the 1980s. The toy line was marketed to white kids specifically, and like most toy lines, black customers were an afterthought, which is why you'll see a lineup of white faces with 1 or 2 black characters slapped in there. Man, I did not think we'd run into racial disparity at Dixie's. So let's take a closer look at these new kids. Back to tier ranker. And we're back, because we got 2 more to add to this. Bobby, I like his look. He's got like the, what do you call that, pompadour? It's really cute, and I love the outfit. And he was voted most likely to succeed. Wait a minute, so is Dottie, so who's gonna succeed more? Dottie or Bobby? Well, considering it's the 50s and the skin color and all that, I think we know the answer. His goals are to write a best-selling novel, which, I can get behind. You know, I like writing and I like reading, so that gives him some points. But his theme song is School Days, which is kind of weird, so I guess he knows literature, but he doesn't really know music. That's kind of an odd choice. I'm gonna put him in Nito. That kind of brought it down a little for me. And finally, Patty. She was voted most creative, and her goals are to be a famous artist. Ooh, I like that. I like that, because there weren't a lot of arts in this. You know, we had like a surfer and a jock and a gold digger. Is that a sport? But we didn't have many artists, so I like that. And I like her look. She's got a very cute dress. And her theme is Chantilly Lace, another good song. So yeah, we're gonna put her in top 40. That's the addendum to this. That's the full cast. Hey there, this is The Obscure from the future, aka the editing process. And I just wanted to point out something I noticed. Look right here in the window of the VHS cover. Is that Patty? Was she gonna be in the show, or is this like a later edition so that this didn't look like a white supremacist nostalgia bait or something? I just thought this was interesting because look at the lines here. She's like kind of cutting into them like she was added later. I don't know. Just thought I'd point that out. Also, I didn't talk about the logo. So I like what's going on here with the neon and the checkerboard and then this very 80s chrome. It's kind of cool. It's a mishmash of the two, but I do not like what's going on here. I think that's supposed to be Peggy Sue, but my god, she looks warped. Like, I like burgers. You like burgers, kids? And also, that looks like cupcake more than a thing. It's supposed to be an ice. What do you call those? A root beer float? Well, I don't know. Don't show me that. Just show me this. I like this. This I like. In researching this episode, I came across a phrase written over and over across all the web. The 50s were a simpler, wholesome time. So that's a fucking lie. It's safe to say that the prosperity of the 50s was a fluke. A culmination of savings during wartime and the continuation of New Deal policies under President Eisenhower. A lot of disinformation has been spread about the self-reliance of people in the mid-century, that they were rugged individualists who looked out for their own, bootstrappers, but they were, in fact, very reliant on government programs like highways and housing subsidies. By 1960, about 62% of Americans owned a home, many opting for the paradise of the suburbs, which were absolutely dependent on municipalities for energy and sewage. However, the prosperity of the era didn't reach everyone. About 25% of white families lived in poverty, and the same for about 50% of black families. If you were one of the fortunate souls to purchase your mini Camelot, well, things still weren't peaches and cream. Truth is, women were given an unrealistic expectation to be caregivers, housekeepers, and sexy concubines all at once, essentially becoming the entire staff of a Victorian manor. And if she didn't want to comply, electroshock therapy. That was a real thing that happened. And though men didn't have to face such horrid consequences, the burden of the household was placed upon them. Kids out of line, wife having independent thoughts, car not shiny enough, well then you, sir, are an emasculated loser. And probably a communist. So you can imagine burnout was extreme, and so was drug addiction and alcoholism. And on top of all that, let's say violence in the house was not often reported. All this to uphold an idealistic veneer about how American families should be, rather than how they actually are. So the 50s were not such a simple and wholesome time. Not for everyone. In romanticizing the aesthetics of an era without acknowledging its problems, you create a false narrative. Fake memories, the kind of things authoritarians weaponize to prey on your nostalgia, yearning for a past that doesn't exist, and convincing you that the present is awful, so surrender your freedom because they're gonna make things okay again. But I think there's something great about Dixie's Diner that runs counter to such dastardly designs, and it's a weapon that destroys authoritarianism.
In school and everywhere else, mind your manners.
A detail about the cartoon that I appreciate is that Dixie's Diner is not doing well financially. It's bleeding money, in fact. Dixie can't pay the final bill or loan or whatever, I'm still not sure. And sure, something like a Hasty Tasty burger would make more money in that spot, but the meaningful connection to place would be lost. Customers would come from the surrounding areas, drive through, drive out, and hardly interact. And the money would flow out of the state, and probably into the Cayman Islands knowing this guy. The kids love Dixie's. Because it's a place to meet up, hang out, organize a violent revolt against the oligarchs, and dance, dance, dance. At its heart, the diner isn't a business, but a community. And that's a dangerous word to an authoritarian. Community. The greedy overlords that view the world as their ashtray hate community because a divided population is easy to control. When each family is given the expectation of being self-reliant bootstrappers, you cut them off from the support systems that can help them flourish outside the grasp of oligarchs. When people unite, they can resist unwelcome change because, well, eight together strong. The materialists have little power in the face of community. I mean, dude was defeated by the power of dance. Okay, tangent time. That's a major reason why I hate when people say they want a government run like a business. Businesses are about return on investment. If it fails, you file Chapter 11 and move on. I can't move on. I live here. All my stuff is here. I'd rather the country be run like a home, because in a home, you work together to better the lives of everyone under your roof. So make your Waffle House into a Waffle Home. Mom, I accidentally turned my video about dolls into socialist propaganda. Is it because I let you go to the Waffle Home? Oh yeah, I'm so sure that the makers of this dead mall of a cartoon were totally thinking about the nuances of mutual aid. But at a subliminal level, by 1988, a lot of people were sick and tired of maximalist materialism. There's a reason storylines like Dixies are accused of being cliché, because rich men taking over things was becoming a cliché in real life. Cliché away.
Jolly Rancher candy, the great taste of fruit, squared.
Our culture is a lot like Pong. It just keeps bouncing back and forth from one extreme to the other. As I stated, maximalism begat minimalism, and that minimalism later begat a new type of retro-future maximalism. I believe the kids call this Y2K and Frutiger Arrow. Even now, we're emerging from the era of minimalist flat vector art and seeing a return to volume and texture. Well, that's exciting. Who knows, maybe we'll see a resurgence of 80s style 50s diners, because something interesting is happening now. The 20-year nostalgia loop doesn't have the same influence that it once did. Online spaces are more about micro-communities than cumbersome mainstream trends. Identity now is gained not through the decades, but through lifestyle. And I'm interested to see what Brat Summer 2045 has in store for us. But one thing is for sure, no matter the decade, someone like Darla is coming for your man. Do you love this place? Then subscribe to the channel. Don't let me get taken over by one of those AI slop channels. Do you know of any other toy lines or retro cartoons that didn't get enough love? Put them in the comments. You may be entitled to compensation. I have another video coming soon where I eat frozen food. For a week. It's not an eating contest, Jesus Christ. Keep watching and stay tuned.